Hello, this is Engineer Dan and welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of our two-part series of revision for geography. In the last episode we covered formation of a tropical storm, what a tropical storm is, and Hadley and Furrow cells, and also about trade winds and how high and low pressure affect our Earth's weather. Today though, we're going to be taking a look on our case study, Hurricane Katrina and climate change. So, getting straight into it, our case study was about Hurricane Katrina. These are a few facts of what it is. A few facts on, but what it is, what it did, stuff like that. So, fact number 1, it was a Category 5 hurricane. It had a width of 400 miles. It hit New Orleans, what's in the state of Louisiana. Its date when it did hit was the 29th of the 8th 05, so 29th of August 2005, and it affected over 15 million people. So them are probably the main things that you're going to need to know. Knowledge-wise, it is. And the second most important thing that you'll probably need to know, or what I'm revising on, is primary and secondary effects. Now, a primary effect would, let's just say, be homes and businesses being destroyed, and the secondary effect of that would be homelessness. So that's just an example of a primary and secondary effect. Another one might be that power lines got destroyed for a primary effect, and for a secondary effect, it might be like sewage leaked onto the streets causing diseases. That might be the case. Now, that's our case study. As I said, this is very, very brief, just touching the surface. If you wanna actually revise, then it's all in here, and it's only about 10 pages, maybe 10 pages long, and each page doesn't really take that long to do all of that. To look at all of this and have like the 8 pages of just this. It took about an hour. Now, just less than that, so I would really recommend picking up a book, just revising, even if it's just for half an hour. But any little bit is better than none. That's why I'm doing this video. Now, moving on, as I say, that is just scraping the surface. Our case study is a lot more in depth than that. But yeah. Now, moving on to climate change. There's 3 main ways climate change actually happens. Now, if you give us a minute, I will actually find you the name of this person. So this person called Milan studied the Earth and how it moves and tilts, and he found out 3 main cycles. He found out that the Earth had an axial tilt of 21.5 degrees to 24 degrees. This causes night and day seasons and stuff. He also found that we had a precession, basically a wobble. The Earth wobbled every 26,000 years, and he found out a cycle called the eccentricity. And this is basically where the Earth gets elliptical to the Sun. That's more sciencey though. You just need to know these 3 names and what they basically are. So axial tilt, night and day, 21.5 degrees to 24 degrees. The precession is basically a big wobble. Happens every 26,000 years. And the eccentricity cycle is when the Earth gets elliptical to the Sun. The second way climate change is happening is through solar activity. This is sunspots. The more sunspots there is on the Sun, the warmer it is. On the other hand, the less sunspots, the cooler it is. That's all what you need to know. So remember, high, hot, low, cool. Just remember high amounts of sunspots equals hot. High, hot, and then low, cool, obviously. Now, the third thing is volcanic activity, and this is where volcanoes erupt very violently throughout pyroclastic flow, so ash, lava, big rocks, and this blocks sunlight from getting to the surface, causing it to be super cold. On the other hand, over time, if this does keep up this big layer of ash, it will insulate as well. If there's more volcanic eruptions, it will insulate the heat. But primarily, it blocks out sunlight, meaning blocking out our heat. I kind of forgot to show you the objectives, but I might as well do that now. Objectives of this video was to know facts about Hurricane Katrina. We just there briefly went over it, so Category 5, etc. Know what a primary and secondary effect is. We went over that. The primary effect is people dying. The secondary effect of that is homelessness. Primary effect is houses being destroyed. Secondary effect of that is homelessness. And our third point was climate change, what we're just there finished. Or almost finished, sorry. Now, the three main gases contributing to global warming, I might as well go a little bit closer, are CO2, and this is caused by breathing or burning. Complete combustion always generates water and carbon dioxide. Methane is produced by rice farming and burning again. And NOx, or nitrogen oxide, is produced by sewage treatment or extreme heat. Extreme heat, like in engines. Sometimes if it's running super dirty, that means rich, then it can produce soot and particulates like soot and stuff. And this causes nitrogen and oxygen to bond together, causing nitrogen oxide, what is very, very bad for the atmosphere. Now, this was part 2 of the 2-part series of Geography Revision. This was very, very brief. However, I didn't really have time to do everything that was in the booklet, and that would have just took up too much paper, too much whiteboard. And yeah, so if you feel like your gaps, knowledge, there will be gaps in your knowledge after all of this, just open up your book and have a little look. Just recap yourself. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.